Let me hit the starter. Got the cab in here. Cab's pretty simple. We got a master switch. We got an ignition switch. We got a kill switch. Whenever you come back into the fire hall and you want to shut the truck off, you pull the kill switch first. You shut the engine off before you shut power off. So you do everything backwards. It's battery, ignition, and it'll start, and then when you leave, shut it off, it's kill, ignition. Parking brakes here, heater controls are right down here. Shifter, just an automatic. This is your pump shift. It works just the same as like engine 3 with the air shift. Right here we got ladder power. They're labeled 1 and 2. When you want power to your ladder, you hit number 1, give it a couple seconds, and hit number 2, make sure the light comes on. When you're done with the ladder, and you've got it all stowed away, then you take number 2 off, and then take number 1 off. So everything's reversed. You got a master switch here for all the lights. Over here we got the Thelma retarder. This truck's got a Thelma and a Jake brake on it. When you're pumping water, you want to make sure the Thelma is turned off. So just shut that switch off.
What's a Thelma do?
What the Thelma is, it's a great, huge magnetic driveline brake. So when you step on the brakes, it's big magnetic pads, and they slam on a rotor and start shutting the driveline down. It's another vehicle retarding system. If you pull up to a scene and you know you have to use the ladder, but you do not know if you got to use the pump, flip the pump into gear, don't put it into drive, and then run your ladder. Because if you don't do that, then you need to shut the truck all down. You got to shut your ladder power down before you can switch that and then shift here for safety precautions. So it doesn't do any harm to flip that in. All it's like doing is taking your transfer case and putting it into four-wheel drive and not moving anything.
So that has to be in gear before you can operate the ladder?
No, it doesn't. If you're just going to use the ladder, if you're going to use the pump, then it does.
But if you want to shift it, then you have to have it all shut back on.
You can shift this, flip these on, you're not hurting the pump one bit, and then if you decide you need to use the pump, all you got to do is come up here, put it in drive.
Okay.
So,
but if you didn't push that lever down, you had the ladder up, then you'd have to shut the ladder off.
Then you got to take all the power away from the guys back there. You know, then they got to quit doing what they're going to do, so you can go and put it into pump gear. Per side, they are right underneath the first main compartment there. We always chalk the steer tires. We never chalk the rears. So we want to put them front and back, and we want to give them at least about a half to an inch away, so when we're setting the truck up, it can move around.
Half an inch away from the tires.
Yep, so we want to just keep them we don't want them up tight, we want them up and close. Pump panel is pretty simple. For tank to pump, you got your tank fill. This is our relief valve. This is a hail pump. Everything else we use is the water is, so it's pretty similar. Make sure you're okay. The pump light comes on if you're going to pump water. This here's your aerial discharge, and this meter here will tell you how many gallons per minute you are going to be flowing. Right now it doesn't work, but hopefully by the end of the month we'll have parts and we can fix it. But the pressure gauge does work. And you got all your cross lace, which we carry, and then discharges on the other side. This here's your primer. On these primers, they got an O-ring in there, and they pull tight, and then they can hang out like that, so you need to make sure they pop back in. On this side over here, we got our engine cooler. We took the nozzle off the radiator refill, because what that'll do is if that gets open, it'll pump straight water right into the radiator and dump all the antifreeze on the ground. The engine cooler, all that is a cooling tube that injects water on one side and just right around the radiator tube. It's just like, cools it down. You got your relief valve drain, you got your main drain right underneath here. And then the rest of your drains. Whenever, I know we don't use them on the other trucks, but whenever the ladder is up and you are pumping water, you need to be standing on the platform. For safety reasons, otherwise you are the ground, So. Any questions on the pump? Pump's the same as the rest of them, you gotta put it in drive, So.
What are the chock blocks?
Chock blocks are right here.
Gotcha.
Chock blocks are, that's the way we wanna put them in, because they pull out easy. They're a little pain to get put back in there, but we want handles down so when they pull them out, take your hand and flip them out. You flip them out and you got that one needs a spring. You want to make sure that they're locked so that they can't come back up. Then to take them down, you just push that in. And there's two sets on each side of the truck that are in the same spot. We got our aluminum ladder, or pads. They're in the back corner on this side. They're up by the front jack on the other side. We set those out. We'll set out the jacks, and we'll grab those and take them. We want to make sure that the handle here is in line with the tube. So it actually will be facing the truck, so that way nobody can trip on it on the other three sides. Make sure that you use the steps. And make sure you put the steps up when we get done. Because as we've already found out that our rear light brackets didn't hold up. Because when we go over approaches, the back of the truck drags. So. Both sides here we got controls for running the outriggers. You got a high idle switch right here, fast idle. Whenever the truck is not pumping water, if the transmission is in drive, fast idle will not work because that'll obviously really screw up the pump operator. So then you just have to run off what he's running for throttle. We want to run them all the way out, we'll set our pads, then we'll drop them. Whenever we flip high idle up, you do what you got to do, you shut it off. If you got to go and set your pads, you shut the high idle off. Whenever you are not standing back here with the compartments, shut the doors. Just leave the handles out, shut them. If you're going to do a short jacking, you got to use the interlock switch here. What that does is it bypasses all the safety switches, because otherwise it will not continue to use the hydraulics. So if we run out to one side and we set it, we drop to one set, and the other set is where we can, like if there's a car sitting there and we can only go out 2 feet, we'll go up next to that car and we'll set our pad there. And then we got to use this interlock and we got to hold it up in order to drop the hydraulic ramps. Emergency power.
You need to do that just on the one that's short jack?
No, once you short jack, you got to hold it
So
on.
if your first one out is short jack, then you have to hold it for all the rest of them?
Yep, and then you got to hold it up there too to run the ladder.
Really?
Yep. So we don't recommend short jacking.
Pain in the ass. Sorry, my language.
This here